Okay, well, hello and welcome to the Advanced Technology Academy at Tri-C, where careers in architecture, construction trades, STEM, law enforcement, corrections, and security. This event will be recorded and available for public viewing. By attending this event, you are providing permission for your face and the name that appears on your screen to be shared. Today's agenda is going to be an introduction to SWAG, the Student Workforce Advancement Group, our efforts, an industry overview, an employer presentation, and then there'll be time for a Q&A session afterwards. There are a few ground rules. Mute yourself if you are not asking a question. We want to see you, but feel free to turn off your camera for a few minutes if you are interrupted. Use the chat function as best as you can. Share questions for the presenters or hold them into the Q&A session afterwards. Pay attention to your listening face. Any interaction makes a lasting impression. Use this time for you to listen and ask questions to explore a new industry. We welcome today Miguel Sanchez, Program Coordinator. We also have Kelsey Williams, Program Coordinator, and Stephanie Palmer, YOU Coordinator. We welcome you today.
Thank you.
Did you guys want to go ahead and dive into, did you want to make some introductions or go ahead and dive into the PowerPoint?
Are we going first?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, we can just dive right into the PowerPoint. Let me see if I can share this. It looks like I can.
Just so you know, Justin, Miguel and I were program coordinators for the Advanced Technology Academy. So if you decide you like our program, you like what you hear today, you can, contact one of us and we'll guide you through the whole process.
Awesome. Let's see. Okay, here we go. So Justin, yes, we are the Advanced Technology Academy. We are up under the Tri-C umbrella, and we're just gonna, talk a little bit about what the Advanced Technology Academy is and what programs we have to offer. Cassie, you want to take this one?
Sure. So what is the Advanced Technology Academy? We are a grant-funded program that provides short-term workforce training for high-demand occupations at zero cost to the student. So that is no catch to the whole zero cost thing. You don't have to do anything weird. We don't ask for anything from you. It's a free program because we get our money from grants. And then we work through classroom instruction and students gain hands-on experience and work readiness training. So that's what's really cool about our program is that even though we're inside of a college, we don't have you sitting inside like a lecture hall or a classroom all the time. Most of the programs that we offer, you're working with your hands. So you're moving and you're shaking there. And then we also do the work readiness training, which is the professional development piece of it. And then at the end, our end goal is always for students to get a job. So we have partnerships with local employers that allow our students to obtain permanent employment and earn a livable wage after completion. So we don't want our students coming out and being part of those people who work 70 or 80 hours a week and still can't make ends meet.
Absolutely. And just to add on to what Kelsey was saying, this middle point here through classroom instruction, obviously, we're right in the middle of this global pandemic. All of our programs are typically hands-on, but because of, the current situation that we're in, a lot of the programs have now gone either completely remote, so just online. So for example, like our 911 dispatch program is just about completely online, or some of them have gone hybrid. So hybrid means that you'll be on campus sometimes, and then the other half of the time will be virtual instruction. Because of the nature of our trainings, and them being hands-on, a lot of this stuff is just impossible to to have it completely online. But we'll discuss that a little bit more in detail as we go along through the presentation. So anyways, you might ask yourself, why pick short-term workforce training? So right now, about 60% of the workforce is retiring. Justin, I'm not sure if you're familiar with the term baby boomer. That's the generation that they were born like in the 50s and 60s. Maybe your parents or grandparents might be baby boomers. My mom is a baby boomer. She just retired about 6 years ago. Um, Anyhow, all of these folks, they're either have retired or they're on the verge of retiring. And these folks were known for tremendous work ethic. I mean, you got to think they were born before Snapchat, before Instagram, before the internet. So, these folks, they don't have no problem coming into work, doing what they need to do. There's, minimal distractions for them. And for, quite some time now, employers have had the luxury of hiring from this particular generation. And unfortunately, they would often skip over younger folks because unfortunately, sometimes there's bad stigma on younger folks. But what happening now is that by these folks retiring, it's leaving this huge void in a lot of these different sectors. So that's where the ATA comes into play. The trainings that we offer, these are all in-demand occupations. So we prepare the student holistically, not just with their training, but also with the professional development. um, you know and these short-term trainings, it provides an alternative for students who either have no interest in or are not well suited for traditional college pathways. So sometimes students are not well suited for traditional college pathways, but that's not always the case. Sometimes they just might not be interested in it. And in the past, it was believed that there was only one way to make it, and that was going through traditional college pathway. But that is no longer the belief. We know for a fact that there's a lot of different sectors, such as manufacturing, for example, where you can actually go in there and make a great career out of it. So different people have different interests.
All right, so what are the benefits of the ATA? Like, why would you want to be in this program? So, most of our trainings are offered in about 16 weeks or less. A semester at Tri-C is 16 weeks or 4 months. And then at the end, you earn a college certificate and or a nationally recognized certification. So that's a two-part thing. So you'll get a certificate from Tri-C, and then you'll also, in a lot of cases, you'll test nationally for different certifications. So just for instance, welding goes through the American Welder Society. There are a bunch of different certifications that make up the dispatch certification. So what's cool is you can obtain that in Ohio, and then if you decide you want to go live in Maryland or Virginia, you can take that with you. It's recognized throughout the United States, so you're not bound to Ohio. And then on average, students earn somewhere between $13 and $18 per hour. I know, Justin, most of our young people, those ears perk up when they hear 18. Of course, that's on the high end, but most of our students fall somewhere right in the middle, about $15, $16 per hour to start. And then, of course, there are always people who fall outside of that range. So sometimes, on a rare occasion, students make a little bit more than that $18 an hour, but right in the middle is where most people fall at. And then as you go through the program, you can earn stipends. If you're not familiar with that word, it's just a fancy word for bonus payments, checks, money, money for completing milestones throughout the program. So you can earn up to $850. Again, how much of that $850 you get depends on you. And what are milestones? Milestones are things that you should be doing anyway. So it's like coming to class, coming on time, class participation, completing your different projects throughout the semester. Sometimes we're looking for opportunities to pay our students out. And then, of course, if you're here, you should be completing. You'll get a payment for that, getting a job, keeping that job for 3 months. So it's just all things that you would be doing anyway, but we found a way to incentivize that for our students.
Yes. And like I love saying, it's almost like paying you to brush your teeth. You should be brushing them anyways, but now you're getting paid. So yeah, you know, we're basically incentivizing and paying you to better yourself while we help you better yourself. I mean, it's definitely a win-win situation. I wish these kind of programs were around when I was trying to get myself together. Alrighty. So some more of the benefits, as we previously mentioned, we do have a professional development class. That's a mandatory class. It's every Friday. It's about 3 hours long. It's currently being done virtually. So you just log on, in a Zoom session. But we learn a lot of valuable things in this class, such as resume writing, practicing interviewing skills, entrepreneurship workshops, financial literacy, and more. And this is such an important component of our program. Um, like I tell my students, you can come in and you can be the best welder, the next best 911 dispatcher, whatever. However, that is only half of the battle. The other half is that interview. Like, you really need to sell yourself, and you are going to be your own biggest marketing tool. So we just want to make sure that all of our students are prepared for this challenge. And depending on which training you go into, we modify and and make the interviewing practice specific to your field. So some questions that are not just going to be general questions, but maybe more specific to your training area. And we'll go ahead and work with you as long as we have to work with you. Some students feel comfortable with just 1 or 2 mock interviews. Some students want 5. We can do panel style mock interviews, meaning instead of just one person interviewing you, it'll be 2 or 3 people. So, the professional development is definitely a huge piece for us. And this is why the ATA is so successful with the partnerships that we have with different employers. These employers, these organizations, they know that when they get a candidate from the ATA, that they're not just getting a 18 or 19-year-old young person that just rolled out of bed and walked through the door. They know that this person has been put through this structured, rigorous training that is going to help them be successful and be a great team player and a great asset to whatever company they may be hired into.
All right, some more benefits to the ATA. Is again, it's free, Justin. It's offered at no cost. So we pay for books, tuition, supplies, uniform, equipment. We offer the professional development piece of it for you, which is really useful. And we offer supportive services. Supportive services can look like many things. Just depends on what your circumstances are. I won't go into it, but we've had students with unique situations that we were able to offer services for them. Just an example of a supportive service is if you are a person who has to come onto campus, we'll make sure that you have either bus tickets or a semester long bus pass to get back and forth. And then traditionally, we would do a stipend for job interview clothing. It is something that we do have in our back pocket. It's just been difficult to coordinate lately. Like this past semester, it was just too big of a risk for everybody to go to Walmart like we traditionally do. But if you were to join our program and you did find yourself needing some nice clothing to wear to job interviews, that is something that we offer. So just an example of supportive services there for you. And then we do have a private job fair for our students, which is now gone virtual. So you're not competing with 100 other people for a job interview. And then of course, we do assist with the job placement piece. We are not fairy godmothers and fairy godfathers, but we will give you all of the tools that you need. And if you use them correctly, you should be able to get a job. And then we've got many, many connections that we use to help students get a job. So we do our best. We do really well with it with students, as long as they follow our instructions. And then we do 1-year follow-up after completion of the program. So monthly, we call, text, email to touch base with you and see if there's anything that you need. Is the job still working out? Do you need to refresh your resume? Whatever that might be for you, we follow up for 12 months. So we don't just kick you out of our nest, so to speak.
Awesome. And another thing, Justin, to just to piggyback on supportive services, uh, one thing that we're experiencing right now, during these troubling times with this pandemic, is some students not having the technology that they need to successfully complete one of our trainings. As I previously mentioned, some of the trainings are going to be completely online. Some of them are going to be hybrid, or even if it's just for the professional development piece, which is also online, you're going to have to need, a laptop with a camera and something to be able to take some of these courses. With that being said, this past semester we were able to give away, a few used laptops. And right now, my boss tells me that we're definitely in the works to get, brand new laptops, to be able to help students who don't have that type of technology. So just something else to keep in mind, that that'll be another part of the supportive service. We obviously won't be able to give a brand new laptop to everyone, but we'll serve as many students as we possibly can. And we partner up with other agencies that, help with that type of, technology support as well. So right now, these are the programs that the Advanced Technology Academy is currently offering. As I mentioned, we're just one door to get into Tri-C. Tri-C has many doors, and we're just one door to get in there. So we're not going to offer everything that Tri-C offers, but right now these are what we are offering. So Precision Machining Technology, that program is 4 months, and it is at the Metro campus. Right now it's hybrid, so they're doing 2 days online and 2 days in the machine shop. Due to social distancing protocol, we previously would be taking 15 to 20 students. Right now, we're only taking about 8 students. And that's just to be able to safely keep everyone nice and spread apart. They have these plexiglass barriers between the different machines. All the equipment and machines is sanitized and cleaned every single day, and students are assigned to their particular machine. When they come into class every week, they'll always be going to that same machine until they're done learning that machine. Once they get switched to another machine, then they'll be assigned to that machine for a certain period of time. But it's definitely very safe. You're required to have mask on, and all that stuff. And I think that Tri-C has done a tremendous job of keeping the folks safe, that the folks that are required to be on campus. So another program we offer is industrial welding, and that one is also 4 months long. Also is at the Metro campus, which is the campus in downtown. That one is actually completely hands-on. So you would actually be in the welding bay 4 days a week. Right now they're doing like 9 a.m. to 12 p.m., so 3 hours a day. And again, we would typically have 15 to 20 students. Right now we're doing 8. You're in a welding bay, you're in your own welding booth, you have all this protective equipment. And it's, one of those trainings where, they believe they can bring folks in and keep everyone safe. Everyone's is spread apart pretty nice. Um, then we have 911 dispatch. That one is uh, at the Western campus. And this current semester, it was 100% virtual online, except for the very end where the students had to come in and learn like the system that they actually use for taking the calls. But most of the course was virtual. I am hearing that this program is gonna go back to hands-on or at least hybrid. So when they come in next semester, starting in January, you will be required to come into the campus. This one is available at Western Campus, which is the one in Parma. And this is one of our shortest trainings that we offer. It's only about um, 10 weeks long, so about 2.5 months. However, regardless of the duration of whatever training you're taking, if you decide to do any of these trainings through the Advanced Technology Academy, you will have to commit to our 16 weeks of professional development. So let's say you did the 10 weeks of training, you will have an additional 6 weeks, 6 Fridays, because it's once a week, that you'll have to log into that virtual session and do the professional development. So please keep that in mind, that regardless of which of the trainings you might be interested in, you would always have to commit to the 16 weeks of professional development. um, so anyways, moving along, we also have emergency medical technician or EMT. Uh, that one is, provided or offered at several different campuses. But if you come to the ATA, we ask that you do it at the Metro campus, which is the one in downtown. It's 16 weeks. Uh, then we have the auto tech class. That one is offered at the Western campus. It is also 4 months. And just one thing I want to say about the auto tech classes, in order to get this short-term certification, which is what we offer, um, you have to take 4 classes, but the 4 classes are only available during fall semester. So unfortunately, this one would not be available in the springtime. And it is also at the Western campus, which is the one in Parma. So if you're interested in either the auto tech or the 911 dispatch, we ask that our students either live on the west side or that they have reliable transportation and valid driver's license, because otherwise it's a really, really big hassle trying to get over to Western campus on the bus line. But anyways, moving along, we have STNA or State Tested Nurses Assistant. That one is offered at the Metro campus, and that one is that one about 2.5 months, Kelsey? Yeah, 2.5 months. Um, we offer patient access specialists. Uh, we offer private security, and we offer building maintenance. Um, the patient access specialists, they kind of rotate. One semester it's at the downtown campus, and then the next semester it's at the eastern campus. This upcoming semester, I believe it's going to be at the eastern campus, but that's one of the ones that has gone just about completely remote, meaning that you can do it, virtually from the comfort of your own home. And then we have the Private Security Academy. That one would also be offered at the Metro campus. Um, they do have one at the Western campus, and this one is kind of tricky. This current semester, they actually had completely canceled this program, and the reason being is because they do a lot of stuff like subject control and takedown techniques and stuff like that, where they really get up close and personal. So I know that they're at least planning to hold a private security academy for the upcoming semester. So for the time being, they're scheduled to go unless something changes. But it's a great segue into law enforcement or something like that. Criminal justice. So it's just a good way to get your feet wet into one of those fields. And then we do have building maintenance. That one is kind of unique for us because all of our programs are short term. This one is actually like a couple semesters long, and you have to take extra classes. So if this would be something that any student is interested in, we could have that conversation, and we just say that it would kind of take a special student to get into that program. Um, for the reasons that I mentioned, that you're gonna be having to take some of these extra classes and everything, which kind of is outside of the norm for what the ATA represents. We're kind of, quick, short term, 4 months or less. You don't have to take math, you don't have to take Englishes or anything like that. So this kind of, falls outside of our, traditional offerings. So Kelsey, if you want to talk a little bit about the machining.
Yeah. How long do we have to present? I don't want to take up too much time from Stephanie. Are we okay still? We still okay? Okay. So this is just a little bit of a glance into the machine shop, Justin. This is what the machine shop at Tri-C looks like. Just some pictures of the students working on the machines there. So it's a 16-week program. You learn to set up an operation of machine tools. And there are three basic machines that you'll learn how to work. There's the mill machine, the lathe machine, and the surface grinder. So I know like one cuts out squares, one cuts out circular things, and one smooths out things. And it's a stackable trade. So if you're interested in machining, you can do three parts to it. You learn the manual operation of machines, and then you can learn CNC, which you might be familiar with that, computer numerical controls. And then if you are interested in coming back for a third semester, there is the part where you can learn to write the computer code for the CNC machines. And of course, at each level, your earning power goes up a little bit more. So on the low end, you can start like $12 to $13 an hour on the manual machining. And then if you were to finish that third semester, somewhere like low 30 some odd dollars an hour.
Right. And that's what stackable trade means, that you can build on it. So if you come in and you do the precision machining technology, and you like it and you do well, then we can certainly bring you in for additional semesters if you want to do CNC and so on and so on. Here's just a few more pictures. These are actual students, in our machine shop. Obviously, these pictures are a little bit old, or at least pre-pandemic. So now, you if you were to come do one of these trainings, you wouldn't be, so close with other students, and obviously you would have on, PPE and mask and all that good stuff. So, again, Tri-C's definitely created a more safe environment, and they're adhering to social distancing protocol. um, Another one of the programs that we offer is the industrial welding. You can learn three different disciplines, which is stick welding, TIG welding, and MIG welding, as well as blueprint reading, which you need to know for welding. And then you get certified through the American Welder Society, which is a nationally recognized certification. Um, as you can see here, these are just some pictures. These are actual ATA students in action. So again, we'll pay for those steel toe boots, the fire resistant jackets, the heat resistant gloves, your helmet with shield, all that stuff. And you get to keep it all, obviously after you're done. And then we do have really top of the line equipment that we use to train our students in. So right now, welding and machining is two of our hottest programs, no pun intended. And here are just some more programs that we offer. Kelsey, if you want to just run through some of these quickly.
Um, you went over them all, didn't you?
Yeah, pretty much, private security, like I said, it's 16 weeks, you know, um, it's a good segue for someone who might be interested in something else in law enforcement, but it doesn't have to be. You can actually make a career out of private security. You can get a job like as a TSA agent, at the airport. We've placed students on college campuses before, at Tri-C, for example, at Case Western Reserve. You can get you a job at the casino. So, you can just stay with private security, or again, you can use it as a stepping stone. It is an accredited program. So, you earn 13 credits that you can apply toward any degree of your own. Uh, the EMT program, is EMT basic. So it's not to be confused with paramedic school. Paramedics is a lot more high level, a lot more training, but this is a good stepping stone if you want to go be a paramedic, or if you want to be a firefighter, because firefighters have to be EMT certified. Um, the auto tech program we already discussed. That one's at Western Campus. It's also 4 months or 16 weeks. We have the patient access specialist, which basically a patient access specialist are those folks, when you walk into the clinic or to the hospital, you have an appointment. They're the ones that check you in, kind of, make sure your insurance and is up to date and everything's the same. They schedule appointments, cancel them. So they kind of do that sort of stuff. State tested nurses
Hey,
assistant, we already went over that.
Miguel, I'm
Yes.
sorry to interrupt. I just said we need to transition into Q&A. It's just 10 more minutes
Okay.
left.
All righty.
I know this is
Thank you.
great conversation. I know, Miguel, I'll let you definitely, I don't want to speak over you, but I
No,
want
no,
to
no.
give Justin an opportunity to chime in,
Yeah.
because I know what's on his mind. How much money am I going to make? What my career path is going to look like. And so I
Right.
want to be able to help him out with those. So let's
Absolutely.
give him an opportunity to ask some questions after you close out, sir.
Okay, not a problem.
Mhm.
So we pretty much went over everything, so we can stop now. The qualifications, you got to be between 17 and 24 years old, have a high school diploma or a GED, and you must be a Cuyahoga County resident. Um, Here is our contact information, Justin. If want to take a quick picture of this or something like that. Also, you know, Ida or Andrea, anyone can share our contact information with you as well. And now we can answer any questions.
Great. Great. Miguel, do you mind keeping up your slide that has the contact information up there? Because maybe, just so he can have it.
Sure.
Um,
Give me a second here.
yeah. So they know how, so he definitely knows how to get in touch with you.
Oh,
Yeah. And also, Justin, take this time to ask us some questions. I know Miguel and Kelsey talked about in-demand jobs. And in-demand jobs are jobs that are, well, literally in demand. They have, basically, you can get these positions with a high school diploma. As you move towards, credentialing, you can earn more money. These are jobs that are in high priority: healthcare, manufacturing, IT. And as Kelsey and Miguel talked about, there are jobs at the end of the tunnel. If they don't have an employer to work with you that's willing to hire you, Ohio Means Jobs can help. We partner with Tri-C all the time. They all the time, and we work together. So once you go through the courses, we can have some opportunities lined up for you.
I was having a bit of trouble here sharing my screen again. Can you guys see that?
Oh, there it is. Yay.
Okay.
Justin says thank you. I think he's okay.
Thanks for coming today, Justin. We appreciate it.
Yes.
Absolutely. It's just I just commend him. I sent him, I said, you know what? Just show up, because there's so many things that we have to offer young people in terms of job opportunities, the supportive services. There's so much money out here for training. It's unbelievable. And there are employers that are truly hiring right now. Despite COVID-19, there is such an uptick. So,
Absolutely. And, I just also wanted to add that, all of the trainings that we offer were considered essential. So even when the COVID hit, any of our students that were placed, they didn't skip a beat, which is a great thing. manufacturing, they always need to make things, they can help with making equipment and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Public safety, any of that stuff, they were all considered, essential workers. So that's another great thing.
So it looks like Justin has a question about going into the field of welding, which is an amazing field to go into. Justin, if you want to ask or write down a little bit more specific, I can actually give an overview. We have several companies that we work with in terms of welding. One of the largest in Cleveland is on the Workforce Development Board, to which that I work on. Welding, just with a high school education, just starting out, just from the ground level, entry level, you can make anywhere from $30,000 to $40,000 a year. As you progress in that field, you can go up to an associate's degree up to $43,000, a bachelor's degree up to $108,000 a year. And if you have a graduate degree after your 4-year degree, that's $125,000 a year. I have went and did tours, Justin, at these facilities, and they are very, very clean. When people think of manufacturing, they think of it's this foundry and it's dirty. You're going to come out looking like, oh, not the case. It is clean. You use your brain, your skill, and your talent and your motivation, and you will move up in the ranks.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
This is all great information. And I'm glad I joined today because I really didn't know everything that all of these programs offer. I know I come into contact with a lot of the 17 to 24-year-olds through all of our programs, even through JOG. And so these are great options if they don't want to jump into college or if they don't want to go that for a 4-year degree. This is definitely a great stepping stone for a long-term career. So thank you for sharing today. I'll
Absolutely.
definitely pass everything along.
Thank
And
you
as
for
you
having us.
as you go along with these companies, they will actually train you internally. And then that's your choice if you want to continue on a career path of your journey, or you say, you know, I'm really comfortable right here, right now. So, and that's fine. But if you want to progress in, most of these companies have certifications and ongoing training. We have on the job training for new hires. So we certainly can help out any overlap.